Hey guys, I'm back with a tutorial for Affinity Designer, which is essentially the Mac rival of Photoshop. So let's get right into it. If you're watching this, you're probably a beginner on this app and need to know how to do the most basic things to work your way around this app. So let's get started. We're going to go up to this top pane, click File and New to bring up a new document dialog. I'm going to leave all of this alone except for this top one here because I'm going to use a Web 720p. This has a lot of different presets. These are all web. There are also photo presets, print ready presets, and devices presets, such as iPad, iPhone, etc. The second dialog box you probably won't have to use very often. It's the color profiles and formats, which are usually used in print. This third dialog box is your height and width, and also your DPI. Your DPI can get very important if you're doing some advanced design work. I'm going to set it to 72 for now because what I'm doing is not going to be printed. If it's going to be printed, I would probably set it to 300 for some high resolution. Let's click OK. So now we're faced with this huge blank screen, this intimidating blank screen, and let's say first thing we're going to do, we're going to go over to the left pane over here where there is a square. We're going to click it. It's called the rectangle tool for some reason, even though it's a square. Let's click it and let's left click and drag across the screen. When you're ready and you like how your rectangle / square is shaped, you're going to let go. All right, awesome. Just made our first object. Now, what's a logical thing to do after this? Probably to change the color of it, right? Well, we can find that on the left side over here, where we have color, swatches, stroke, and brushes. I'm just going to focus on color for today because the other ones are a bit more advanced. So, how do we change the outside of this? Let's say we want a black square with an orange outside. So if you want to do the black square, we have this solid circle where my mouse is, this solid circle. Make sure that is selected. You can select between them by either clicking the arrows or by clicking each in turn. So we're going to click and drag around this until we find a color that we like. I'm going to go for a blue, so I'm going to click around the circle, spin this around, and I'm going to click, let's say around here. This is a nice blue. All right. Now, if you want to have, oh wait, I thought I was doing black. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to do some black right here. Black inside, there we go. And then we wanted an orange outside. All right, click the outside one, which is basically the donut shaped one. We're gonna go to orange, and I'm gonna put that in orange. Now it's very, very faint. As you can see, I can't really see it. By the way, if you wanna deselect something very quickly, usually what I do is I go over here and just click the move tool. And that selects it as an object, and you can click outside. Now let's go back, let's select this, left click. Let's go up here to this top pane, where you can do the fill, the stroke, which you can also do over here on the right side. And let's click the stroke. I'm gonna drag this slider, there we go. Oh, that's not really orange, but you guys get the idea. I'm gonna drag the slider, there we go. Now we have a black box with a gold outside, which is good enough. Let's take a look at this left side for a moment. We have a bunch of things. Usually what you're going to be using is if you're a beginner in the space of graphic design and the app Affinity Designer, you're going to be using either this place image tool, which you can click to access your files and place images inside the program, or these shapes right here. As you can see, there's a little gray arrow on this triangle, which you can click and hold on until you find the right one. Lastly, we have this artistic text tool, which is basically just a text tool, which when you select it, you can click and drag, and it gives you a platform to type on. When you're done typing, you can just click the move tool up here. Those are some pretty basic tools. One other thing you probably will be using quite often is the magnet tool up here, the snapping tool, which, as you can see, if I select this, if I left click and drag it, it will line up in the middle of my image. Now, let's say I want it maybe a tiny bit to the right of that. But it won't let me do it exactly where I want it. We're going to go up here. We're going to click the magnet icon so it is a lighter gray. And then it is free to move around. One last thing is the transform down here, which is very useful if when you're using these arrows to click and drag. If you want it, maybe you want exactly 450, but you can't get it there. We're going to go down here to the very bottom right, change the width. There we go. Now it's exactly 450. That was a pretty basic tutorial. Hope you guys liked it. If not, please tell me why. Feedback is appreciated. Leave a like, comment, all that good stuff. And thanks for watching.